I planted this white beam tree exactly 21 years ago. As you can see, it has grown rather tall in the meantime. Its top branches are getting very close to the telephone wires and might need to be lopped very soon. As I look out from my study window, I love to see the buds that remind me of spring after winter, new life after dead, and resurrection after Good Friday. In Matthew chapter 24, Jesus doesn't talk about a white beam, but about a fig tree. Its branches grow tender, its leaves come out, and it's a sign of summer. He isn't really talking about resurrection, he's talking about the second coming. And as you read Matthew chapter 24, you'll realise that it is full of cataclysmic pictures, it's full of wars and rumours of war, it's full of wickedness abounding and love growing cold. It's a very disconcerting kind of chapter, and even as a follower of Jesus Christ, it leaves me feeling distinctly uneasy and fearful. What can we learn from these particular verses? Well, first of all, as we read them, I believe they help put life in perspective. So much in life winds us up, but we don't really need to worry. Who of us by worrying can add a single hour to his life? And also there are very few of us on our deathbed who wish that we'd spent more time in the office. These verses as well invite us to examine ourselves. The psalmist said, "Lord, search me and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me and lead me in the way everlasting." As we examine ourselves, I'm reminded of a quotation from Bishop J.C. Ryle. The closer we are to God, the more we have the light, the more we see our sinfulness, and the closer we are to heaven, the more we are clothed with humility. As we look at these verses as well, we are reminded as followers of Jesus Christ that good triumphs over evil. And as followers of Christ, we have nothing to fear. There's urgency in these verses as well for people who do not yet know Jesus, to come to him, to give their lives to him, to trust him. As we talk about a tree that is rooted, Paul writes these words to the Ephesians, that Christ would dwell in our hearts through faith, and that those who belong to him, that they would be rooted and established in his love, realise the full dimensions of that love, how wide and long and high and deep, and be filled to the measure of all his wonderful fullness. Amen.